Welcome to another episode of Cinematic Anarchy, where today we are going to be sitting down with Miss Stephanie. Hello, how are you today?
Hello, I'm well, I'm good. I've got my Fight Club shirt on, I'm ready to party.
And we are going to be talking about the all-singing, all-dancing scum of the universe, Fight Club.
Best film ever made. Absolutely love it. It's easily my favourite film. I absolutely adore Fight Club.
This is like a top 3 Edward Norton film for me.
Oh, absolutely.
Right up there with Primal Fear and Death to Smoochie.
Definitely, yeah. I really liked him in Knives Out, Glass Onion, the second Knives Out film they did. Absolutely phenomenal trilogy. I love the Knives Out films. He was brilliant in Glass Onion.
I think he's a highly underrated actor. I think there's a few... He dropped off for a little while, I think, because he screwed his career up with stepping into that Ang Lee Hulk film.
Yes, and also he's notoriously very difficult to work with, so a lot of people didn't want to work with him. Allegedly, on Fight Club, David Fincher got into a few spats with him, and that's why you haven't seen him in a Fincher film since. Allegedly. I don't know all the ins and outs, I just heard about it.
It was worth it for the end product, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Phenomenal film. That is genuinely plot twist. To be fair, why are you watching this if you haven't seen the film? Go watch it. But when you find out that he is Tyler Durden, I was shook. That took me off guard. So usually I'll see a twist in a film and I'll be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. When that was revealed, I was like, are you fucking kidding? What? And watching it back, it actually does somehow make sense as well.
It's only one part that didn't make sense to me. How he basically built an entire Fight Club, basically, off of him beating the shit out of himself in the middle of a parking lot.
I mean, I've seen people do wilder things, yeah, but... You know, men will do anything for entertainment, like...
I don't know a lot of... Maybe one or two. I don't know a lot of people that would haul off and just punch themselves hard enough to cause that kind of a black eye.
I mean, I was out the other day with my partner, and in the city they have like these little like metal instrument things. They've got a little hook which is like attached to like a rope thing. This teenager came up while we were just tapping around this thing and just slammed his head into it. And we were like, dude, are you okay? He's like, lol, yeah, just wants to do that. We were like, all right. So, I could believe it, because I've seen wild shit like that happen. I'm just like, yeah.
Okay, I've done things like that before. There's a difference between smacking your head against something randomly and hauling off and punching yourself with your own fist. Because there's something in your head that always stops you just short of really doing damage.
Yes. That is true. It's physically impossible to slit your own throat because your instinct will completely fight it.
Right. However, I personally have, with a couple of friends, and this is giving away some really stupid stuff about myself when I was younger. I've gone around with a bunch of friends and we just randomly, you know how some people just walk around, smack a sign or whatever. I'd randomly just run up and headbutt a stop sign or whatever. For the hell of it.
But you're asking, how did he start that thing? Just by beating himself up in the parking lot?
Well, it's still a vast difference between headbutting another object and punching yourself. Using another object to hurt yourself is one thing. Using your own fist to do the same kind of damage is a very different thing.
You'd think that, but there are people who have done like really bad crimes like murder and stuff, and while they're sat in the police holding cell, they'll start punching themselves to make themselves look crazy. As we know, this guy actually is fucking crazy, so there's a chance he's just fucking batshit.
So I suppose for people that aren't sociopathic serial killers, it's tough for them to punch themselves in the face.
Pretty much. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know many criminals myself, so...
I have known a couple. Not exactly proudly, but I think I was relaying to you just before we got on the cast. I was almost, well, not a criminal, but a vandal anyway.
Listen, we've all done dumb shit as teenagers, like...
That I'm giving myself away. I think this is statute of limitations anyway, so... But,
yeah, it was like 20 years ago, you're good.
The guy whose car that I decided needed a decent new paint job, That is my wife's ex.
Stop it.
Yep, yep. So that was, I mean, after I started dating her, that's the last time I ever heard from him.
Brilliant. Love it.
So that was the end to all that fighting between me and him. It's tough to get back from stealing somebody's fiance.
You wrecked his
Uh,
car and stole his girl. That's some emotional
yeah,
damage right there.
I
I respect it.
he was a terrible boyfriend. I didn't have to do too much to steal. He was a drummer.
Oh
I
no. As someone
I
who
would
fucked
say that
around a lot with musicians, stay away from the drummer.
he was a musician. All I can really give him is he's a drummer. Uh, he knew well enough to be able to basically, if you picked any Metallica song, he could do the drum work with that with no problem.
Yeah, I know the type. I ran around a lot with musicians in my late teens, early 20s. Never again. I'm very happy with my boyfriend now. Fuck that. Don't date musicians, girls. It's not worth it. They will
No.
write very bad songs about you.
Yeah, well, I mean, any song that this guy would have written about her would have just sounded like tribal drum work. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I had a guy wrote a song about me, and it included the words, I snort cocaine off your chest while my balls are caressed. He did a line of coke once off my tits. Not proud of it. Anyway, Fight Club.
Segueing back to Fight Club.
Segue back to Fight Club.
Fight Club, a David Fincher film starring Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, and Helena Bonham Carter, and of course Meatloaf.
Yes. His
Bob with the
name was
bitch
Robert
tits.
Paulson.
His name was Robert Paulson. See, that's how I should have started the podcast. Right there. I
7
started the
minutes in.
conversation that way before we were even recording. I started the conversation that way, but that's the line that I don't know why. Just that line is the one that stuck with me the most. Is his name is
Yeah.
Robert Paulson, and it's like because there's a moment where you realize that a lot of these guys are just mindless drones, not really listening to what they're interpreting things their own way, which in its
Yes.
way is like a religious cult. It's like
Absolutely, yeah.
they hear the words, and regardless of what you're trying to convey to them, they're hearing what they want to hear.
Absolutely. And I feel like it's also a critique on the audience because I think that Fincher knew people would misread this film. So he's sort of taken the piss out of the people who are like, oh, I would be in Fight Club. I would totally be like Tyler Durden. It's okay, you're missing the point of the fucking film. You don't want to be like Tyler Durden. You don't want to be in Fight Club. It's a load of bad shit. Like, I feel like Fight Club was so ahead of its time because it called out the manosphere before the manosphere was even a thing. And in that regard alone, I truly feel like Fight Club is a feminist film. I mean, I wrote an
Mhm.
essay about it in my first year of film school, because we did film theory, and I wrote about feminism in film, and I wrote about how Fight Club is inherently a feminist film. And my lecturer actually spoke to me after he marked my paper and said, you know what, I've actually seen Fight Club in a very different way after how you described it, because it is truly just calling out how capitalism and the patriarchy really are the downfall to humanity as a whole. Because these men obviously have daddy issues because they talk about how their dads weren't around or they weren't very supportive of them and such, and it's them trying so desperately to find a male role model in their life, but they can't, so they turn to forms of masculinity, such as violence, to make them seem more dominant and more masculine, when in reality, they just ruin themselves in the process even.
And honestly, the strongest character being Marla in the entire film, really.
Yes, I've got so much to say about Marla Singer. Oh, I personally love her because I fucking adore Helena Bonham Carter. I've had a crush on that woman since I saw her as Bellatrix in Harry Potter as a kid. She was truly a part of my bi-awakening. But I have seen a very common theory, which I kind of believe, which is Marla was another alter. Marla wasn't real, the same way that Tyler Durden wasn't real. What if she was
Okay.
also in
I
his head?
I kind of felt that way even reading the book. I really did. That she was just sort of another split personality of his. something that
Absolutely.
his feminist side, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, in the book, allegedly, the narrator, who everyone goes back and forth what his name is, like people call him Jack, some people just refer him as the narrator. I'll say Jack, just keep it simple. But basically, there's a big theory that Jack's actually gay, and he's suppressing that inside of him because he feels very ashamed of being gay. It's internalized homophobia. So he kind of pushes his feelings down. He feels like Marla is a way to express his sexuality because it's through a woman having sex with a man, not a man having sex with a man.
Right.
But that's basically the theory behind it. And honestly, it makes sense.
It
I
does
kind of
actually.
believe
Now,
it.
you saw the eyebrows raise as soon as you mentioned that. It's like, yeah, actually, that makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Definitely,
Uh,
yeah. I mean,
so
I
that
think
would
it.
essentially mean that this is a feminist LGBTQ kind of film.
Yeah,
Uh,
I truly believe it is. Everyone says it's such a dude film, it's such a guy film. Because when people ask me what's your favorite film, I say Fight Club. They're like, "Really? That's such a guy film." I'm like, "Is
it's
it though? Are we sure about that?" Like, I truly believe it is just a feminist film. Sort of in the same way how Alien is a feminist film, but is seen as a masculine film because it's sci-fi and in space, but it's actually
what
about rape and childbirth. Oh, you're gonna have to blur that because YouTube don't like it. But yeah, it's sort of in the same vein as that.
we
As it presents as an action film, and it's like all masculine and full of testosterone. But if you're really looking the subtext and the themes behind it, you realize it's really not.
So while most of this does go up on YouTube, everything is basically labeled as not made for children.
It
So
is, but YouTube likes to throw a pissy fit over the R word, so
yes, okay, okay.
yeah. One of
Well,
those dumb censorship things.
let's hope
I
they
mean,
don't.
I've had it before where I said the C word in a video because I'm British, and then YouTube was like, "We're going to take down your whole channel because you said the C word." People have said way worse things on the internet than that. Like, come on now.
A lot of it is not necessarily their own censorship either. It's people reporting your video, basically saying, "Hey, well, you know, this, I take offense to this. I take offense to this." It's a whole world of people that want to just watch kittens licking themselves. That's about it.
People need to get a grip.
I've told you, you got to get on this podcast with Nico, who I feel is your U.S. like doppelganger. I was talking to her about you last night, and she's like, "I got to get back on the fucking podcast." It's like, you two definitely need to meet because
Absolutely.
she is spot on the same kind of political activist that you are. You know, she has all the same, I want to say mannerisms and everything. So it's like I'm literally I'm on a podcast with somebody that I've worked with before. Uh,
Clearly, you just attract the crazy bitches like myself and Nico, yeah.
I love it. I love opinionated people, people who aren't quiet about how they feel about shit.
Oh,
You know,
I'm
you can
never quiet about that. I made a lot of enemies by being very loud about how I feel about things.
I hate people that literally you can tell they want to say something, but they just sit there and suppress it, push it down, don't say anything. You know, because what is
Can't
me
do it.
contributing to this going to do? Well, it's going to add one more voice.
Exactly, it's getting your opinions across and heard, and also it's a good way
Right.
to socialize with people. And it's also a good way to find out if the people around you are actually good people, because they can put on a front, but the more you talk to them, the more you think, don't think actually. I mean, I used to be friends with someone, and it took me 3 months before I discovered they were literally a Nazi, and I was like, yeah, I went home, blocked them, never spoke to them again after that. I was like, I've been in the enemy's house.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Basically, you should talk to people about your opinions and such, because you learn a lot of other people through it.
Yeah, yeah. It used to be a lot easier to kind of hide who you were, I guess. Social media is sort of the downfall of socialization to begin with, but it's done another thing which is a little bit more positive. It's made it harder for people to actually hide who they are
Yes.
because a lot of people they're keyboard assholes.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like, I literally got reported to work once, had to go to a HR meeting because I made a joke about Charlie Kirk, and someone found where I worked and reported me and said I was trying to radicalize kids on the internet.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a fun meeting in HR. I started looking for jobs real quick after that. Um,
I don't even know where I would go with that. I don't know if I'd tolerate an HR meeting like this. This is my job. It's not like I'm sitting here and I'm standing out in front of your business. This is my own personal belief,
yeah,
or honestly, it was a passive joke.
yeah. But
Like no
no,
nobody can
according to
take a joke anymore.
no one can take a joke anymore. Genuinely, yes. It's like, don't get me wrong. I am fucking woke and I'm not afraid to admit that. I also think you can make jokes about dark things, okay? It's a joke. We are saying it in jest. We clearly don't mean what we're saying. Like, just everyone needs to calm down a little bit.
There's a
But, like,
reason why comedies are not a thing anymore. Why you go to a theater and you do not see a comedic film, and if you do, it seems like they have tried really hard. Bear with me when I say this because some people get a little annoyed with me when I say this kind of stuff. It's the Netflix effect. One day, Netflix just decided we're not going to just make movies right now. We're going to do our best to make sure that everything, every time, is completely all inclusive, which is fine in one aspect. But when you start watching and everything has every single part, I don't know how to put it, everything that I've watched from Netflix recently, you will find every representation notated in there.
yes.
You're going to find the every aspect of LGBTQ. You're basically going to find the lesbian, the gay guy, the bi person. You're going to find
And they always do it terribly. I'm
right,
sorry. I don't agree with making a remake and then race swapping because you're making it more of an issue than it is. Like, The Little Mermaid, for example. Yeah, mermaids can be black because they're not fucking real.
right,
Did we specifically need a brown Ariel? Did we even need the film to begin with? No. It's like they throw these things in just to fit a DEI quota, but then the people like myself who are queer were like, hey, this is actually a really fucked up representation of us. Like, they always portray the gay guy as the sassy gay guy and the lesbian
right.
as the butch lesbian and all this, and it's like, yeah, we can just be people who just like people of the same gender. You don't need to make a big song and dance about it. It's so clearly, like, old guy higher up, has lots of money, has never spoken to anyone who's queer apart from, like, one guy in the 80s, and decided, oh, we need to make everything about gay because the kids are down with the gays these days. And it's like,
Right.
maybe you could just, throw in a gay character, but just don't have it be their whole thing. Because whenever they have a gay character, it's all about them being gay. But then you see it in Fight Club, it's very subtle. And that's the
Oh,
way
that
you
wasn't
get
subtle.
through representation. You make it subtle. The issue is there, and you are showing it, but you're not basing the whole fucking show around it.
I not for nothing. I've watched this film a couple times. They're not being subtle about all these guys in the Fight Club suppressing their homoerotic instincts at all.
That is true. There is nothing gayer than two men without their shirts on, wrestling hands all over
They could
each
have
other, a
gone
couple
fully
inches away from
clothed.
each other. They could have gone fully clothed.
You don't have to
They,
be
they
bare chested with no shoes on.
exactly. It's a bit homoerotic. It's like wrestling is inherently homoerotic. Yeah, wrestling. Yeah, you wanna roll around on the floor with another dude while you're both half naked? Yeah, that's so straight, dude. Like, Fight Club is very inherently homoerotic. I mean, like, when he's sat in the bath and they're just talking to each other, do you typically, if you lived with your homie, sit while one of you's in the bath and just chat?
I can't remember a time where I've ever been like, "Hey, John, come in here. Sit down on the toilet. I want to talk to you."
Exactly.
No.
So me and my partner have done it, but he's
Right,
also
right,
been inside of me, so it's not as weird. So,
right.
yeah.
There's a different level of I want to say intimacy between a partner and your average best buddy. Like I'm not. I had one. Okay, I have had one person that there was literally no boundaries with. Like we didn't give a shit. And that the proverbial John that I was just talking about, the same guy that I got into that issue with the car with. There's no
Yeah.
boundaries. We pissed side by side using the same fucking toilet. We didn't care. You know.
Oh, I'll do you one
Well, that's
better. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a house party. Me and my friend were drunk. He's a dude, by the way. We both needed to use the toilet. So he pissed in the toilet and I pissed in the bath. So
okay.
I feel like pissing together with your friends is just a bonding
It's
experience.
I think that was one of the whole reasons, like way back when I first thought there was a potential that I might have been bi at one point, and I kissed a guy, and I was like, yeah, no, not for me. Uh,
It's not gay to kiss the homies goodnight, though.
right. Well, no, that kiss was definitely not a kiss the homies goodnight thing. But it was sort of a, hey, am I not? And then it's like, okay, if anybody's gonna be the guy that I kiss, this person's gonna be it. And then I did, and I was like, you know what? Definitely not for me. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Cleared my mind. Okay. I have no
Fair
problem with it.
enough.
I have no problem with it, to each
Yeah,
their
you're just not
own.
queer, that's alright.
Right.
If you want to be boring
So,
like that, it's your choice.
eh.
I'm
I keep it less boring by making sure
me.
that I'm literally surrounded with my son's transgender, and my some of my best friends are, I mean, that deeply effeminate queer guy that you were talking about. Well, that is 3/4 of the guys that I know that are gay are the deeply effeminate type.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, to be fair, if you're friends with me, you're either neurodivergent or queer in some way. So that's my entire friend group.
right.
I know many a effeminate gay man, like the ones who do drag and shit. So, yeah, there are many different parts of the spectrum of it, but to bring it back to Fight Club.
Right, back to Fight Club. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
technically, this was branching off of Fight Club and the bare-chested fight scenes. So
it was. This is
we were
just two
there.
neurodivergent people having a conversation at this point.
Exactly.
But yeah, but I truly think that Fight Club, it's a gay film. The men are very effeminate. Oh shit, my laptop's on 20%. 1 second, I'm
Yeah,
so
you definitely want to
sorry.
plug that
It
in.
was charged before, but I got an older shit laptop which doesn't like anything. There we go.
That's honestly perfectly fine. I had the entire first episode that I did with the Strange and Beautiful Book Club podcast, and I do want to get you on an episode with them. Matt and Rachel, we were sitting down, I think, doing Joe versus the volcano, and
Oh, okay.
that's old Tom Hanks. I don't know if you've seen that.
That's like his early stuff. I haven't seen it personally, but I know about it. That's a
That's a
real blast from the
fantastic Tom
past.
Hanks film if you ever get to watch it. There's a lot of visual imagery that people don't normally watch the film for, that if you go through it, it definitely felt like, I want to say Wes Anderson without being Wes Anderson,
Oh,
if it
okay.
makes sense.
So the kind of thing Wes would have watched to have been inspired by his famous videography today.
I think Wes Anderson might have been inspired by him.
Most likely,
So,
yeah.
uh, And I had a point, but the point was that like halfway through the podcast, I didn't realize it, but my cat had hopped up on the table and absolutely pulled the wire out of my laptop. And my laptop at that point was so old that if it was even 10 minutes without it plugged in, the battery just shit the bed.
Yup.
And
That's pretty. Yeah. That's
mid
where I am with
podcast,
this.
the entire thing shit out, and I was like, "Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me!"
That's just having a cat. That is just having a cat. I honestly, this is another thing about Fight Club. Is it me, or does Tyler Durden give you the impression of a house cat? Because everyone absolutely bends their will around him. He just kind of chooses this place and decides to live there. And everyone absolutely just bends to his beck and will and just will go missing for days at a time. But then
Not
turn up
just
fine.
that, but the way
That is
that
a
he
house cat.
moves and squats in different areas. It feels like a house cat just kind of stalking and marking his territory.
Pretty much, yeah. It's generally what he like looks and sounds like. But another thing I don't get with this, how the fuck did no one at work clock that he was in Fight Club? Because yeah, he does finally get found out because his boss is like, "You're turning up, you look like shit." you're not getting work done. You're being very defiant. Like, we're gonna have a talk with you, and then he beats himself up in the office.
Tell
Brilliant
me
scene.
how many
Um,
people haven't thought about doing that since watching that film, like, I wonder if I could get away with that.
you know what? Someone's definitely tried it, and I bet it did not end up working out well.
Like, you gotta really it's that whole thing where you've really gotta commit to beating the shit out of yourself.
Yeah. I mean, like, there is also the first two rules of you don't talk about Fight Club, which we are breaking right now. Tyler Durden's gonna come for us in our sleep tonight.
Right.
But there's also, like, you're telling me none of the higher-ups were in Fight Club with him, clocked his tea, and was like, oh yeah, you're in Fight Club. Do you want to like do some nefarious shit in the company? Because I feel like if you're in Fight Club, you've got to have some kind of issues, and you're probably up to dodgy shit anyway. Wouldn't surprise me if it's some like finance bro fudging the books and like getting money and shit and running scams. Surely someone would have been doing that in the company. Surely would recruit him and the other people within Fight Club. Or if it wasn't at his company, it could have been other companies, and they could have done Project Mayhem that way by infiltration of a high-end company. I mean, there
I
is also the whole
mean,
like anti-capitalist aspect of it all, but
that's what I'm thinking, is that I think with the anti-capitalist mindset associating with a lot of the higher ups within his own job was probably not something he wanted to do. I mean, they were
absolutely.
targets, not part of his actual project.
That is a fact check. They do go after high-ranking people. I mean, like the thing in the bathroom where they attack the guy who's like head of police or whatever and threaten
Right.
to cut off his balls. So I do I do think it's that. I mean, Fight Club, I feel like it kind of reminds me of January 6th. Wrong people, right idea. You
Right.
know, the ideas were there, you know, take down the system, smash capitalism, all of this. But the way they went around it, like, you know, actual terrorism, it's like, you
you
know.
once you storm the Capitol and decide that you're going to basically destroy, at that point it became mindless destruction and not necessarily what would they have done if they actually got a hold of anybody.
That is actually true. What was their plan? What were they trying to do? I feel like it could have been done in a better way if they had a plan and knew what to do, because, you know, democracy isn't
We're not
really a
trying to
thing
give
in
them any
America
ideas right now,
anymore.
though. Not that group
No, we're not
anyway.
gonna. Okay, for legal reasons, I am not supporting this. However, I would just say you could have done it more successfully and got a good outcome, but unfortunately, they just decided to turn up and be like, we're just gonna run inside the building. For what?
I think somebody wanted the podium.
Of all things to nick from the White House, the fucking
A
podium.
flag, the podium, just like, I don't know.
Americans are weird. Sorry, as a Brit, I see shit come out of America and I'm like, what were you trying to achieve? Sort
Honestly,
of
I
like
just
in Fight Club, what were they trying to achieve through Project Mayhem other than cause an absolute ruckus and be a
they
nuisance?
the point was to basically take down the credit companies and bring everybody back to zero. I'm guessing they're assuming that there isn't backup files anywhere.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, you destroyed the actual buildings. What about the servers?
Right. I mean, I'm guessing they're assuming that the servers are inside the buildings, and I'm hoping that the idea or in the film is we're only seeing the localized destruction because he had to fly all over the country to try to figure out where Tyler was at first.
Well, this is the thing. It's very only based in America because there are other countries with, you know, credit shit. I mean, hello, UK, we're a Western country who have credit, pardon me, credit problems, who are big in capitalism and shit, and there's a lot of debt. Believe me, I don't know anyone who isn't in debt in the UK.
Right.
Surely if it collapsed in America, they would just turn to Europe, or are there also fight clubs in Europe as well? Just
The
like, I love
entire
Fight Club, it's great, but the more you think about it, it's like, does it make sense?
the entire credit system in general is designed to make sure that you never are out of debt. The best way to get your credit score to the point that you want it to be is to constantly have debt, constantly being paid towards debt, and not quite use all the money that you're able to have. So it's like having access to several $10,000 loans, but you're only using about $1,000 to $2,000 of that loan at any given time.
Yeah, exactly, of course. And then there's also like the interest on top of that. It's like student loans. I mean, like student loans work a bit differently in the UK because basically you only start paying back your student loan once you earn, I think it is currently 30 grand a year. And even then, it only takes out a little bit. And if you don't pay it off by the time you're 50 years old or 30 years after you complete your studies, it's wiped. Which is completely different in America. Like you get a loan at 18, you're paying that shit off till the day you die. Um,
Yep.
but it's very different here. Even then, I know so many people living in their overdraft, have student loans, taken out loans for other things, and it's absolutely insane. And it is a very predatory system of you have to stay in debt in order to have good credit. I mean, like, I've never taken out a loan once in my life apart from my student loan. Oh my god, my credit score is absolutely shocking, so I refuse to take out a loan due to the fact that I would be terrified in case I couldn't pay it back.
Right.
So I do understand, like, the thought process behind it, but it's also like, these people are super greedy. The billionaires who own banks, of course they have greed. Surely they would have a backup plan if their building was to burn down. Also, most of them have insurance on that building, so it would just give them more money anyway. Because they would get fat payout from it.
Right. So that's why I'm wondering, is because they kept everything very localized to him,
Yeah,
the entire
exactly.
film.
So
So,
does he really want to make a change, or is this just an ego trip?
well, the thing that I'm wondering is, and mind you, the film doesn't really resolve that for you at all. Is Project Mayhem countrywide, or is it just localized where he is? Are it just those buildings, or was this literally set up so that they could hit several points all across the country at the same time?
I mean, given how everything was ran, it would not shock me that it was all over, because when he finds out that he is Tyler Durden, he passes out, he wakes up next day, and the woman's like, oh, you need to sign all of these calls you made between 2 and 4 a.m. or whatever. And he doesn't remember any of that. What if that is him being like, right, shit, I figured myself out. I need to now, like, move this along. I need to call everyone, yo, it's happening tonight across the country. Again, you don't really understand it. It isn't explained. I know in China,
It's
they actually show an alternate ending of him just being arrested. Or it comes up
okay,
with a placard saying Tyler Durden was arrested and doesn't show you the blowing up of the buildings, which to me is the best ending of any film ever. Like when they're stood looking through that big window, whereas my mind's playing and all the buildings start collapsing.
right.
Beautiful. And the 6 frame splicing in of the penis at the end. Beautiful callback. I do like that. That is something I actually want to talk about real quick. Those little
Go ahead.
flashes you see of Tyler before he's
I think there's like
introduced in the
8 of
film.
them.
I've only clocked 4 or 5 of them. I need to go back and watch some more of
So,
it again, even though I've
yeah,
seen it like
I have
100
the
times, but
collector's edition, which
me too.
when I first it's the steelbook thing. When I first sat and tried to watch the film on DVD when I purchased it, I was just like, why has Never Been Kissed on this fucking thing? They open it with
Yeah!
the
We've never been kissed, yes!
I was just like, wait, did I put the right film in? I was like, well, I've never bought this movie, so why the fuck would this be on here? And then
And then it comes
pops
up.
over, yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that actually. I was like, that's actually pretty funny, nice. But those little flashes of the audience only thought that they saw it because when he's explaining when he works as a projectionist, he'd splice in porn to kids' films, which is
Right, right.
so funny, by the way. Personally,
That whole scene where, and then all the kids are
yeah,
just
and
like,
then
did we
also
see
like,
what we just saw?
yeah. Well, that's to say that's why they spliced in Tyler Durden, because it
Right,
is, you only thought that you saw it, because everyone was like, oh, what was that? And it's only when you slow it down and pause it, and then you're like, oh, that's Tyler Durden. But you only know that once he's been introduced, so it's just random flashes of this random dude. Well, Brad Pitt, because he was already quite a big star at this point, but
right.
either way, they, that's very fourth wall breaking in that way, because I absolutely hate, like, I think it was ever since Rick and Morty started doing it, being like, oh, it's so meta, it's breaking the fourth wall. Like, the whole thing with Deadpool, everyone thought it was revolutionary, and I was like,
They've
this
been
is
doing
not
that
that
shit forever.
great.
Like, Ferris Bueller's
Exactly.
Day Off was a really big representation for breaking the fourth wall. Uh,
Exactly, but Deadpool did it, and everyone thought it was revolutionary, and it's like, have you ever seen a film? But either way, I felt like it was very fourth wall breaking in that way. It wasn't, I am directly addressing the audience. It is, we are going to explain this later on, but we're going to show it you before that, so you're not going to really clock it. And I thought that was a very smart way to go about it, personally.
Puts you in a position where you want to watch the film again and kind of, oh, yep, there it is, there it is, there it is.
I feel like
Uh,
Fight Club is one you have to watch several times as well, because they do hint towards him being Tyler Durden several times. And the example that pops into my mind instantly for me was in Lou's Tavern, where he meets Lou. He comes down and it's like, I'm Lou, who the fuck are you? And he's like, starts fighting Lou. You actually see the narrator, but Edward Norton stood to the side, and when Lou punches Tyler in the stomach, he like flinches as well while he stood there.
right.
And you don't even notice that. I had someone else point that out to me, and now whenever I watch it, I look out for that. And it's also like when they're in that car accident, and that he's talking about, like, if we died right now, what would you want to do with your life? And he sat there screaming to himself, and the guys in the back are like looking at each other like, what the fuck is he going about? Because he's actually just there screaming at himself. But then when they do crash, you see him crawl out of the driver's side. Like, him and Tyler both get out of the driver's side.
Right.
He was sat in the passenger seat. So there's little things like that sprinkled throughout, but you would never have been able to clock that they were the same person.
You almost have to get to the end of the film and then watch the film again to realize, oh, wait, yeah, they were showing us the entire film. This guy's been Tyler all along. They just don't hit us with the actual info till like the last minute.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. I think it's brilliant how they managed to, create that sort of huge build, which made perfect sense and completely caught people off guard. Because a lot of the time when the twist is about to be revealed, you kind of already guessed it. So I watched The Visit with my partner. He's never seen it before, I had. And just when they were about to reveal, spoilers for The Visit if you haven't seen it, just about when have you seen it?
I have not. But go
Are
ahead.
you bothered? Yeah.
No, I'm not
Okay.
bothered at all. This is
All
the
right.
entire podcast is about spoiling shit for people. So
Pretty much. But anyway, I said to Tyler, because I paused it, because we always like to do this thing. If one of us seen the film and the other one hasn't, we have to guess how it ends. I'm quite good at it. I've managed to clock it a few times. Him, not so well. But I paused it. I went, right, what's your prediction for the twist? He said, they're not their grandparents, are they? And I was like, you're absolutely right. Not their grandparents. Escaped patients from the local psych ward. So he put up on that one. Fight Club, there ain't no way you picked up on it. People who are like, oh, I saw the twist coming. No, you did not. You're a liar. Like, no one saw that shit coming, and I genuinely feel like it was revolutionary.
and
But it's
mind you,
definitely a film that can't be remade.
I can sit here and say I saw the twist coming, blah blah blah, but I remember when I first watched the fucking film. So on DVD way back when. Uh,
Yeah, oh, that's actually the great thing about Fight Club. It flopped significantly at the box office. It made like no money. The only thing that made it the cult classic it is now and made it get its money back was through DVD sales. You don't see that anymore now. It got very popular when it released onto
well,
DVD and everyone bought it.
physical media is not really a thing anymore. They used to
Unfortunately.
actually, if you go back and pick up the old DVDs, like the first run DVDs for a lot of these movies, they put a lot of effort into marketing the DVDs. They added Easter eggs.
Yes.
They would trick out everything. And now you have very little attention paid to actual physical media anymore.
Absolutely. It's really sad, because about the only thing I see digital media wise actually get any form of like advertisement is usually when a pop star releases an album and they'll have a vinyl of it. Like, famously, it happened with Taylor Swift. I
Right.
fucking hate Taylor Swift personally, but she released like so many different vinyls. Happened with Charlie XCX. I saw that Brat vinyl fucking everywhere. It tends to only really be with music, specifically with vinyl, specifically only with the pop girlies. But yeah, DVDs, you don't see them much anymore. It's like, I remember they used to be in all the major supermarkets and that. I've not seen a DVD in the supermarket for a good few years now.
Yeah, everything that I buy is online, really. There is a good shop up the way. Pardon me. The last bastion of hope, as far as I'm concerned, because almost every store around here has stopped selling DVDs. They're selling vinyls like crazy now, so apparently
Oh,
vinyl is
yeah.
back. But
Vinyl's made a huge comeback, yeah, but DVDs and Blu-rays, not so much. I mean, like, here in the UK, we have a couple of stores which are quite popular, which are HMV and CEX. HMV is all new stuff, CEX is all secondhand.
right,
I spend a lot of time in both of those shops. Like, in my city, we have them literally across from each other. It's basically a day out for me. But HMV, even then, it's so expensive. Like, a Blu-ray's like 25 quid when they first come out. It's
right,
insane. But then you go across the road, and CEX, if you find a secondhand copy, they're much cheaper. It's like, we bought One Battle After Another on Amazon, and it didn't play, and it was really annoying. It was probably just one film that was fucked. So it was really upsetting because we really wanted to watch it. And then, but my partner went to CEX the next day and got it for £10. He bought it off Amazon for like 25,
hmm.
which is crazy.
Well,
And the fact that
Amazon
One
in
Battle is
general,
already being resold, it came out last summer, like crazy.
I've noticed that Amazon in general goes back and forth. Like there are certain things that are an absolute deal, like a steal. But then there's certain things where they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give this to you for like 25." You said 25 quid. I say dollars, whatever. For twenty
Yeah,
five
yeah.
dollars, it's 35% off. So it was like $40 or whatever. And it's like there's nowhere that they're selling this for $40 at all.
Yeah. Also, just to clarify the little language barrier, quid is basically slang for pounds. So you
Right,
guys would
right.
say bucks instead of dollars. Our currency is pounds, like the Great British
Oh,
pound,
I know
not
that.
the measurement. Yeah, I
For
say
anybody
quid
that
because I'm a
doesn't know
common
that.
northerner.
Yeah, no.
You'd
I
be
mean,
shocked. You'd be shocked. So I had someone before, they are Australian, and they were like, "Oh, is quid's the currency in your country?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just northern and common. I just say quids is for slang." So,
well, I mean, I was raised on British television, so
yeah.
I know a little bit. I have a little bit of retention, but I mean, nothing that would make me feel like I could walk into any place in England and feel completely comfortable knowing what I'm talking about.
Try talking to a roadman. They basically speak a different language. Like, I've literally had them before go up to me and go, "Hey, yo, you piffting, what's your snap here?" And I'm like, that's them basically saying, "Hi, I think you're hot. Can I add you on Snapchat?" They don't use Snapchat for some fucking reason. No, I'm sorry, if you are over the age of 20 and you use Snapchat, you're a paedophile. No one uses Snapchat apart from teenagers and
You use
weirdos.
Snapchat because you have a specific reason to hide your conversations.
Pretty much, yeah. No, I
So
will not be adding you on Snapchat. I've not used that app in about 5 years. But I
I
still have men to this day go, "Hey, yo, you a piff ting in it yet? Can I get your snap? What's your snap yet?" I'm like, no. Please leave me alone and never speak to me again.
I have Snapchat specifically to advertise the podcast. Like I have our podcast on all different social media platforms. There's a bunch of people that I know that I had because they're like, well, I only really talk to people on Snapchat. I'm like, okay, well, that's a red flag, but whatever. Uh,
I don't use it. I'm like, if you want to talk to me, it's either WhatsApp or Instagram or my phone number. If you don't have those three, we're not talking. Soz.
right.
So, but yeah,
And we talk through Instagram. So
exactly, yeah. But no, roadmen sound like they're speaking a whole different language. Sometimes if you go, like, deep into Yorkshire, which is where I'm from, the Yorkshire accent, even though I was born and raised here, never stuck to me for some reason. But then he speaks like my nana, and she'll be like, "Hiya, lass, oh, I'm right pissed off, I tell thee, I'm right stiff, and all the doctors, oh, he can bloody do one." And you talk to them, and it's like, I can understand them fine. I had a boyfriend a few years ago who was an immigrant from Latvia. He did not understand a word my nana was saying. We got home from visiting my grandmother, and he was literally like, your nan's really nice, but I didn't understand anything she was saying. And it's like, yeah, she's just really Yorkshire. We basically have our own little language up in the north.
Have you ever seen an animated show called King of the Hill?
Yes! The one in
I
Texas.
I lived in Georgia for a little while, and I swear that the character of Boomhauer was based off of one of my neighbors, because he looked and talked exactly like this guy. So, you know, every conversation you'd have with him, it'd be, what? What? Can you speak up a
Yeah.
little bit? None of that sounded like words.
That's just what South London accents sound like to me. That's most Southern accents to me, if I'm being honest. If I hear a Southern accent in the UK, it sends me into fight or flight.
Boomhauer is just Kenny from South Park grown up into an adult.
Brilliant,
Prove me
brilliant
wrong.
show. Oh,
Same
and
mumble.
that's another thing as well in Fight Club when he's just flipping through the channels. It's actually great. You see the advert for the what is it, the catering thing that
Right.
Tyler did. Yeah. You see him on the end
On
going,
the very end.
welcome.
And he was the
Yeah.
only one of the group that seemed like there was any animation into him saying welcome. Like, he was the only actor there, and everybody else was just sort of
Yeah, because
welcome.
I clocked it immediately when I saw it, because it was clearly a bunch of extras and a Hollywood star who's been doing it for a while.
Right.
So, not to take away from him. Also, I just want to give a beautiful moment for our guy Meatloaf. I fucking love Meatloaf. To me, he's the best character in Rocky Horror as Eddie as well,
Right.
and in this as Robert Paulson. And Bob had bitch tits.
Bob had
Like,
bitch tits.
what's so funny about this is, I watched the director's commentary for Fight Club, and he had spent 3 years, like a good decade, like losing a lot of weight because he was a bigger guy back in the day and he lost a lot of it. And then the first film he did after he lost weight was Fight Club, where they put him in a fat suit.
Was it Fight Club?
Yeah.
I thought it was Wayne's World that he did.
He lost a lot of weight for something.
Oh,
or
that was
other.
after he lost the weight. After he lost
weight. Yeah,
Sorry.
he lost a lot of weight, then did Fight Club where they put him in a fat suit. Which is so sad. My guy spent so hard losing all this weight, and they're like, you know what? We're going to put you in a fat suit. And my God, that poor man.
You know, though, I mean, to be part of that film, I mean, Bob is a memorable character.
Absolutely.
If you watch that film, if you watch that film, Robert Paulson sticks with you for fucking ever.
He really does, yeah. Because you remember him, like, right from the beginning. Because when he was, like, it opens with him in the top building. It's about to blow up all the buildings. And he's like, wait, I need to go back. This is Bob. Bob had bitch tits. And
Right.
he's like one of the first characters you're introduced to. And it's like, wait, no, I need to go back further. For 6 months, I couldn't sleep. And that's where it jumps off. But you're already introduced to Tyler Durden, who's obviously a big character,
Right.
and Bob before the film really starts.
Tyler was kind of a shadow at that point, though. You got to see like him in the background, but not fully.
Absolutely, yeah. Is that? I'm so sorry. There's stuff happening outside, and it's
It happens over here all the time. Don't worry about it. This app is usually pretty good about kind of bleaching a lot of that out of the background. So
I hope it is. It's a directional mic, so. But
honestly, I don't think I've had a lot of episodes where like the police cars or the race cars driving past me, actually the sound doesn't usually get through.
Oh, that's all right then.
As much as it kind of tops out the mic, because this is good to like it records the localized audio. So like if I'm talking but you have noise going on in the background, it'll cut out the noise. And then it'll switch back over. So the only time you ever pick up the noise is when you're actually talking.
Oh, that's pretty good. But
yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying about Robert Paulson? Yeah, he's
Robert
one
Paulson.
of the first characters introduced. I'm so sorry, my camera's going crazy again.
So little sunbursts.
I look like I'm in Rivendell. I'm an elf now. But yeah, Robert is or Bob is one of the first characters we're introduced to, and he's also one of the most important characters as well because he is very much about how he used to be the epitome of masculine. He used to be a bodybuilder, he used to take steroids, he used to be huge, and now he has bitch tits, and
Right.
it's very, you can see it really gets to him because of what he used to be and who he is now, and it's these men searching for belonging but finding it in the wrong places, like Fight Club, which then turns to a cult, which gets Bob killed. His name was Robert Paulson.
I think I saw
So
an interview that he actually talked about he had to draw on his actual weight issues, how he felt about his weight, which led him to actually emote during that scene where he was physically crying.
oh my god. That's so
So,
sad though. Like, especially since like when he was a younger man back in his early career, like, the days of like Rocky Horror, his early music stuff, he was a bigger guy. Yeah, but then it just seems sad that he lost all of this weight, did Fight Club, they put him in a fat suit, and then wanted him to kind of bring up the emotions of his former body issues when he had just overcome. It's sad. It's one of those sad things within film which it's like it's not healthy on your mind. And
no.
a lot of film is not healthy on the mind. I mean, if you go to any film festival, everyone there is on drugs. Everyone there is snorting stuff. Like, I've been to a few of them, there is not a sober person in the building. And, film is very brutal in that regard. But it's also like, Jesus, it's really just a reflection of itself in reality.
Okay. I mean, fair point. Sorry, like I wanted to
That's
contribute to that conversation, then you just made a couple of points that I was thinking about. So I just was like, okay, she said what I wanted to say. She said what I wanted to say. Not the cocaine part or the drugs or anything, but just I've been to a couple of film festivals where you could tell there wasn't a sober person in the building.
Oh
You know,
yeah, those jaws are wagging away. People have just been walking around just going, it's like, and it's like, yeah, we know what you're on, mate.
there's a reason why a lot of them have an open bar. You know,
This is the reason why I
it's
only
like
drink
after.
alcohol and hang out in the smoking area, because it's only a matter of time before someone comes up to me and like, you want a bit? And I'm like,
It's like, let me get this straight. I spent all this time doing this, putting this film together. Now, what you want me to do is you want me to sit here, watch my own work, and then get up in front of people and talk about my own work. Yeah, I'm going to need a fucking drink. Uh,
yeah, to be fair, I mean, like, anyone who's made a film will know you will fucking hate that film by the end. It doesn't matter if you make absolute cinema, you will hate your own film because it's the only thing that your mind will be absorbed by for a minimum of 3 months.
right.
Your whole mind is just this film. All you talk about is this film. You edit this film, and the film is never done. It just gets to a point where you physically cannot stand to look at it. And that's filmmaking.
There's a reason why a lot of directors are actually omitted from the cutting room floor because cutting up their own work is like cutting off a limb. Uh,
Truly.
Notoriously, what is this film that I talked about? Tiptoes. That particular film it was supposed to be something completely different. It is literally a film where you have Matthew McConaughey playing the brother of a dwarf played by Gary Oldman.
Oh,
So they use Gary Oldman for that part, which I'm thinking. First, I was thinking to myself, all of the actual dwarves and or little people in the community, in the film community, and they use Gary Oldman for that role. I don't understand.
I guess Peter Dinklage wasn't available, seeing as though
I think
he's
he
the
was in the
only
film.
dwarf actor.
I believe he was
He
in the film.
was?
Yes, if I'm not mistaken.
It
Uh,
seems to be they reuse the same two dwarf actors of Warwick Davis and Peter Dinklage, and it's like, surely there are other little people who want
there are a
to
lot of
act.
recognizable ones out there. The problem is my brain, outside of like what Brad Williams, my brain is not retaining a lot of the names. I know Warwick Davis. I know
Fuck it, just
Peter
hire Wee
Dinklage.
Man from Jackass. Like, Jackass is ending, he needs a gig.
Right, Vern Troyer's gone. He passed away, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you don't have Mini Me around anymore, unfortunately.
You really don't. I mean, it's like the guy who played the arm in Twin Peaks. He unfortunately passed away, and then when they shot Twin Peaks: The Return, that's why they go into the room and they say, "This is what is left of the arm," because the guy who played the arm sadly passed away,
Right.
and the woman who plays the log lady, who is my favorite character, she passed away literally 2 weeks after she filmed her scenes. Like, David sent out a crew to go and film her parts. Like, they were like, "We will come to you, it's okay." She was, like, actively in end of life terminal cancer. So, there are ways around it with stuff like that, but when an actor dies, it is like, geez, all you have left is just what they have on camera from their films.
So before we get back into talking to the last little bits about Fight Club, I
We've
had a
gone very
thought.
off topic.
Hear me out. Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome's a great boutique Blu-ray company. Uh, Arrow Entertainment, I believe you guys have an entire division of their boutique stuff over in England that we can't even access. Uh,
Oh shit,
I
really?
can buy it, but like there's the American site for Arrow Entertainment, and then there is a specific UK site, and they don't release the same things over here. Everything we
Rule
get, you guys
Britannia,
get.
Britannia rule the world. Yeah.
Everything we get, you guys get, but only certain things can we get from you. So,
We're just that
uh,
elite.
which is
I talk
why
about it like England's a great country. We're really not. Like,
I had
we're
a
not that far
point.
behind America.
I had a point that I was trying to make, but that's why I like the 4K format, because they've eliminated the need
Yes.
for multi-region DVD players. You can now buy a 4K film anywhere in the world and it'll play on your 4K player, period.
Yeah, I remember there was a film my partner had on Blu-ray and he got it in Germany, but for some reason when he brought it back to the UK, it just wouldn't work.
So,
So I guess it's not even just an American issue. I guess we also have that issue in some parts of Europe also. But I do think it's absolutely stupid when it's like, this will only work in this region. Why? It's a disc.
right.
Can you imagine
It
if Criterion did
it's
that?
a distribution thing for some reason. I don't know what it's
Yeah.
like. They don't have the rights to play certain things in certain countries. That's why UK Netflix doesn't have the same things that US Netflix has because of
Oh yeah,
distribution
like how you
reasons.
guys have Little Britain, meanwhile it's like a crime to be seen with watching Little Britain these days.
So the point I was making about the boutique Blu-ray companies, I wanted to call them out. If you're actually seeing this right now, I need something from them. There should always be access to both the corporate vision, the one that you get in the theaters, and the director's vision for the film. I want to see more director's
Absolutely.
cuts.
Absolutely, the director's cut is always elite. Cause like there is nothing more. I hate this. Like both as an audience member and a filmmaker myself, it's studio interference. It's the one thing that kills a fucking film. I'm sorry, but these posh wigs in suits who don't even step onto the film set, who only control the budget and nothing else. You are not the fucking director. Let the director do their job. As soon as you start interfering with the director's vision, that's it. It's lost. Like, you let them do their thing. It's like, June famously nearly got David Lynch to quit making films, and thank God he didn't, because we would never have had Twin Peaks, but, he said, like, the studio interference in Dune ruined Dune for him. He became very depressed, very suicidal over how much studio interference was in that, and you can see it.
Right.
Same with Alien 3. It was, David Fincher's first ever film. The third Alien film is very split. Some people hate it. I'm not a fan. Some people love it. It's my friend Paul's like favorite Alien adaptation. But it's also what was I saying? Yeah, he was severely intercepted by the studio, and that is why it's such a mess of a film, because they thought, oh, young director, he's easy to push around.
Right.
Yeah,
Which in
and
some
then
cases,
Alien 3 was a
unfortunately, that's
mess.
true.
I know, but the thing is, though, it ruins the film. I can understand having some restraints due to budget and whatnot, because budget can be a real bitch. Like, honest to God, trying to get funding for your film is a humiliation ritual in itself. I've done it before, and I was not a fan, my God. But when you do get it, it's great. But when it comes to studio interference, oh yeah, you've killed the film. You've killed it before it's began. It's like the new Skywalker trilogy from Star Wars. It was trash. So much studio interference. It was like if they asked a corporate HR person to make a Star Wars film. And that's what those films look like when there is way too much studio interference just fucking around with it.
Right, exactly. So that's the point I was the point I was making was that there are, I mean, director's cuts of films out there. They should always preserve the director's cut, find studio interference, whatever. They want things cut up, they want things reshot, they want this shuffled over here, that shuffled over there, what. But that's the only reason I own a copy of fucking Waterworld on Blu-ray. Is because they have the director's cut. There's like 5 different versions of the film in that set of Waterworld. Yes. One of the worst films I have ever seen. But now I have seen the worst film I have ever seen 5 separate times in 5 different ways. And now I know which of those cuts is my favorite. So, it's the Ulysses cut.
Are you sure you're not into, like, torturing yourself or something? Waterworld, and the director cared so much about Waterworld, he made 5 cuts. Lord of the Rings Return of the King won Oscars, and there is still a director's cut floating around somewhere in New Zealand, which is 6 hours long, and we are yet to see it. Peter Jackson, if you value anything you do anymore, please release it. You've already made enough mess.
Haven't they released that over here before? The extended cut? The extended version?
Oh, no.
Isn't like the...
There
oh, no,
is
that's
a
like almost
different
4...
cut
4...
of Return of the King, which
Really?
is 6 hours long. It's somewhere. It's never been publicly released. Maybe it doesn't even exist, and this is just far side for fallen for. But there is a 6-hour cut somewhere of Return of the King. That film is already 4 hours and 25 minutes long, extended, because I only watched the extended editions. If you watch theatrical Lord of the Rings, you're just wrong. Extended only.
Well, I mean, I watched the theatrical version in the theater.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, everyone has. I did. I've seen Lord of the Rings twice in theatre, both theatrical and also extended full-day marathon. I got to cinema at 9 a.m. I left at 1 a.m. It was a long day.
Right. So, I mean, I'd watch a 6-hour cut of that. That was a great film, honestly.
Yeah. But the fact that someone cared about Waterworld to make 5 cuts of it.
My point. I mean, I've seen director's cuts of all sorts of things. I didn't even realize there was a director's cut of Pretty in Pink. You know, there's things are cut out for the length and I want to say flow of films, I guess. So they cut things out so that it's more marketable for theaters to begin with. But I still think it's important to be able to see the director's original vision for the film.
I mean, the director's cut of Fight Club, I'm pretty sure that's one I have, it has everything in it, and I feel like in a theatrical cut, you just lose so much. I mean, like, going back to Lord of the Rings, in the theatrical versus extended in The Fellowship of the Ring, Boromir famously passes away at the first one, rest in peace. I loved Boromir, my absolute northern man, Sean Bean. I went to the same college as him, by the way. We live in the same city. Big up my guy. Yeah, you don't see a whole lot of Boromir in the theatrical and you kind of don't care. But then in the extended, you see him really bond with Merry and Pippin and everything, and then his death just makes it absolutely gut-wrenching when it's like, they took the little ones. It's like, stop it. Like, you know, it really just adds a different depth when you actually see the director's vision, and also Fight Club is one of those where you need to see the director's vision.
And then there's certain areas where you see the director's cut and you go, yeah, no, they definitely should have killed all of that. Every single bit. Mallrats being one of them. Kevin Smith's Mallrats, there was a lot cut out of that film. And I was like, oh, there's a director's cut of Mallrats? I have to watch that. And then I did. And I regretted the 2 hours I wasted.
Some of them just aren't good. Yeah, it's like the original It from 2017. Everyone absolutely went crazy over that film, and then you really watch it and it's not that good. You watch the director's cut and you're like, wow, that's even worse. Would not recommend, personally.
Arrow Entertainment is notorious for putting together director's cuts regardless of whether or not the actual visual effects are in place. So what they had to okay,
Why would
have
you
you ever
do
heard of a movie
that?
called Tammy and the T-Rex?
No, I have not. That sounds absolutely wild.
Do you know who Paul Walker is?
Of course I
You
do.
know who Paul Walker is. Fantastic. That was his first major motion picture. Paul
Oh,
Walker
before Fast and Furious, damn.
essentially was the boyfriend of Denise Richards in that film. He dies early on in the film, and the whole premise is that the brain of the boyfriend is transported into an
Into the car.
into an animatronic T-Rex.
Oh, that's worse.
And the entire film, she is basically bonding with and professing love to the T-Rex and the disembodied mind of her ex-boyfriend.
How much did that actress get paid for that role? My God.
I mean, Denise Richards, she's famously one of Charlie Sheen's exes. It was
Charlie
it's like
Sheen.
his ex-wife. Like that was the woman that was married to him through his I got tiger blood phase, you know?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen was the one person I was expecting to be in the files and just wasn't in them, which is crazy because that man has just done wild shit. Like, he wasn't doing it because he was part of the Epstein gang. He just did it for the love of the game.
Right.
The guy's fucking insane.
He's his own file.
I feel bad for that woman being A, married to Charlie Sheen, and B, having to do that role. I hope she got a lot of money from both of those, because
if you ever
both
get a
seem
chance to
horrible.
watch it, I definitely recommend watching it just for the one-off, like, what the fuck did I just watch kind of thing. It's slapstick comedy with if you get to watch the R-rated director's cut version. So there's a PG version because they tried to kind of turn it into almost a family-friendly film.
Chris, does she have sex with the animatronic?
No. The big difference... The most you see out of Denise Richards in that film, it's R-rated because it was initially supposed to be a horror film, like a comedy horror. So they cut out all the blood and gore to make it a PG film.
That sounds like what they tried to do initially with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They tried to edit out the blood so it could be marketed as family-friendly. Plot twist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not family-friendly.
There's not a single word in that sounds family-friendly. So
my God.
we do have to tie things up.
Imagine if they tried to make Fight Club family-friendly. You just wouldn't have a film.
I'm just trying to think what you'd have to cut out. I mean, you definitely couldn't have the 9-inch dick in the middle of the film.
Nah, you couldn't have the really weird sex scene, which was really weird motion capture. I respect it. It's different.
I respect it because they at the time Helena Bonham Carter refused to do nudity in film.
She did,
and so they needed to have the sex scene without necessarily having her in it. And
yeah, because I watched the director's commentary, and it was director and cast commentary, and she said, yeah, those aren't my tits. They did this motion capture thing, so I basically just had to straddle Brad Pitt while they took so many different photos from so many different angles around them to get that. Right. I respect it, because it's not a typical sexualizing of the woman and just throwing in a sex scene just to sexualize the woman and nothing else. They put it in because it's needed to the plot, yeah. Right. But also, it's a lot more artistic and a lot more tasteful than 90% of anything Sydney Sweeney has ever done, who might as well just be a porn star at this point, but hey, beside the point. I actually appreciate it for that, to be fair. So, I mean, I remember her saying, like, yeah, those aren't my boobs. I wish they were. And I was like, yeah, me too, girl. So, but yeah, I did, I appreciated that. There's just so much in it. Like, so much violence. Oh, my favorite part of Fight Club? Watching Jared Leto getting the shit beaten out of him.
Again, I have to contest Jared Leto being the pretty thing that they beat him.
He's not that pretty.
Yeah, they're Jared Leto as with the original hair, the black hair, was not a bad looking guy. The bleached out hair,
he looks like a heroin addict. He looks like he's listened to a little too much Nirvana. That's how it looks to me. I mean, I personally absolutely hate Jared Leto. I think he's an absolute piece of shit. So him getting the shit beaten out of him, it brought me great joy. I know he didn't actually get beaten because it's just a film. It was all effects and stuff. Knowing that he got beaten up, at least his character,
I mean, all he looked
yippee.
like he did in that film, and he looked like the Joker, except for the Joker had fallen into an entire vat of hair bleach instead of just pale skin, pale hair. It was.
We don't talk about that Joker. We
Oh
don't
no no
talk
no!
about it.
I want to talk about
Worst
that Joker.
adaptation.
I want to talk about that Joker because I don't think he did a terrible job. I don't.
I am far too sober to have that conversation.
I don't
I
think
need a
he did a
few
terrible
drinks.
job. I think that his interpretation of the Joker is valid, but I think because of studio interference, we ended up with a shit version of what could have been decent. Because there were a lot of DC films that were coming out at the time. It wasn't just
That were
his
dog,
character
yeah.
that were just dog shit. That could have been
However,
great.
they already redeemed them though with The Suicide Squad in 2021,
Right.
which was miles better. So much better. I didn't
James
watch
Gunn.
it for a long time. James Gunn, of course, he is the absolute goat of superhero films. But oh my god, it was terrible, the 2016 one, and everyone was upset. I remember Comic-Con that year, I went as original comic book Harley Quinn, and everyone else was dressed as Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. You could not look anywhere. It was just nothing but Harley Quinns at the whole con.
I'm going to recommend a film to you. I'm going to recommend a
Oh,
film
yeah.
to you that traumatized my good friend Nico. Okay. And I traumatized her because I didn't actually watch the film before. James Gunn had a hand in making a movie for the ultra low budget film company Troma before he became famous, called
Okay.
Tromeo and Juliet. Also co-starring his brother, Sean
Sean
Gunn.
Gunn?
Yes.
I've only ever seen him in Gilmore Girls.
You've seen him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, and Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy,
I was
of
going to
course,
say,
yeah.
you had to have seen him in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, of course. That is wild, though.
So basically, it is a reimagining of Tromeo and Juliet if Tromeo and Juliet were actually brother and sister who had been adopted out to these two families and didn't know that they were brother and sister. Yes. So you don't find out that little plot twist till the near end of the film, and then they find out that they're brother and sister, and they say, fuck it, and they keep doing what they're doing.
I mean, in Star Wars, they actually had the decency to be like, oh, we're siblings, this is we... Huh?
So I'm ruining the film a little bit for you because I did not give anybody on the actual crew that I made watch this film a warning ahead of time. I did not know much about the film. I'm like, oh, yeah, James Gunn had done this film. We really should watch it. And I sat down with my buddy, Seth, sitting right next to me, like 5 feet from me. And we're sitting here, we're just watching the film. And as the film's going on, the distance between our chairs get a little bigger because it's like, this is uncomfortable to watch, man. This is really uncomfortable.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
And
I'm gonna need a bottle of wine to get through that.
at the climactic moment of the film, my daughter walks through the room. What the fuck are you watching? And I'm like, apparently I'm watching low budget incest porn. I don't know what the hell I'm watching at this point.
Oh, great.
But this is why James Gunn, these films that he did for Troma is why he almost got blackballed by Disney. Because he had a hand in making some pretty, I want to say, socially uncomfortable films. For Troma.
So basically, he was a fucking weirdo, but wanted to get away with it.
He hooked himself to a film company that was notorious for making low-budget films that they are well aware that they don't have the budget to make things that are going to bring in audiences because of the flash and the bang. So they're like, so ramp up the gore, ramp up the TNA, ramp up the vulgarity.
You can make a good film on a low budget.
You
sorry,
can.
there are so many iconic films that were low budget. Halloween, low budget. Paranormal Activity, low budget. The Rocky Horror Picture Show,
That's
low
not
budget.
Lloyd
You
Kaufman's
can.
philosophy, though. It never has been.
My God, you just... if you are creative enough, you can make a good film. As soon as you start throwing in shock value, that is when you lose all credibility. There is nothing I hate more than shock value in a film. Fight Club does it well. There is a lot of shock value. However, with the context, it works. Throwing it in out of nowhere, like The Hills Have Eyes, just randomly throwing in a, grape scene.
Yeah.
There's no need for it. Like, you're not making a horror film, you're just making people uncomfortable and want to turn off your whatever it is you've made. It's like this film, it's not good. Shock value kills film. As soon as I see a horror film, it just throws in a random scene just to be shocking for the
I
sake
want
of shock. That's why I'm like, this film's lost all credibility to me.
I want
This
to say
is
I'm half
shite.
and half with that. Sometimes shock value makes a great film, but you have to do it right. You
Yes,
have to do it
that's the
right. It has
thing.
to be the kind of shock that literally sticks with you, not that it feels like it was just gratuitously thrown in there.
Exactly. That is
Um,
why I have a lot of respect for Fincher in his other films as well. In Seven, with the "What's in the box?" and it's just fucking wife's head,
right.
and they actually made a prop of his wife's head. They got shots of it in the box, and then they just decided not to show it. And I think that was the best form of shock value because I was absolutely shook. And her character, she's pregnant. It is gut wrenching. And it did it well.
Right.
That is how you do
John Doe
shock
has the upper
value.
hand. John Doe has the upper hand. Jeez.
Exactly. Brilliant film. I could talk a lot about Fincher. I think David Fincher is genuinely one of my favorite directors, along with David Lynch and
Lot of Davids.
ooh, very hit or miss for me. If I had to pick a third, maybe I'd say Wes Anderson. I'm sorry, or Ari Aster.
Okay.
Brilliant
I'll
guy.
agree with you
I
there.
loved, yeah, he's great. Jordan Peele as well has done some
Am I
phenomenal
not?
shit.
Is he the one that did Sasquatch Summer?
I
I
don't
think he
know.
did.
Jordan Peele did Get
No, no,
Out.
no, no.
No.
Ari Aster.
Oh, he might have done. He's done Hereditary, Midsummer, and Eddington. Those are the big ones.
I'm trying to bring it
He's
up.
big with A24.
Is it Sasquatch Sunset? Sasquatch Sunset. Sorry, my mistake. Now I'm just looking up the information real quick because I was. No, that's the Zellner brothers. Sorry.
Oh, also, I would like to throw in a random fun fact about Fight Club. My partner is named after Tyler Durden.
Named
My
after
boyfriend's name is Tyler Dunnan. His dad's
That's
favorite
beautiful.
film is Fight Club, and he was born a year after Fight Club was released.
Okay, that's
His
brilliant.
name is
I love
Tyler
that.
Dunnan.
I love that.
Yeah, Tyler Durden. Tyler Dunnan. His dad unironically calls himself Tyler Durden from time to time. So that's pretty fun. It's also my favorite film. I told my mum this, who's very spiritual and a bit of a hippie, and she was like, "It's the universe sending you a sign. It's fate." And I'm like, "Oh, he's just named after my favorite character from my favorite film."
I mean, it just happens that this worked out really well.
Yeah, I did.
So,
I mean, like, his
that's
name's he's on my shirt.
right. It's
Tyler Durden.
a 20-something year setup.
Absolutely, yeah. It was planned from the beginning, even though I wasn't born until 2 years later.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. Of the main characters, who do you think had the worst performance in the film? Because I know picking out a best performance is easy, pretty easy, but who had the worst performance in the film?
That is a very good question, actually. I would say the boss, Jack's boss. I felt like he could have been more of a dick. He seemed way too bland and way too reasonable to have been a character in this. Because the characters in this, they're all fucking out there. Like, even Jack, who is, you see him and he's just a domesticated man in his condo buying all this crap from IKEA. And then he goes off the rails. And that's interesting. And Tyler Durden's holding himself. Marla is just batshit. You see all the people in Project Mayhem, and it's all these crazy-ass characters doing whack shit, and then just the boss, who is a plot device for, like, a little bit in the film. and he's so bland. All you know about him is he is Jack's boss and nothing else, and Jack fucking hates him. I think if they saw more interaction between Jack and his boss, it could have worked better. But I did think overall he was a very bland character and not very fleshed out. He was just kind of there
Okay.
for me personally.
I mean, I was going with Jared Leto. Jared Leto's character.
You know
I
what?
didn't
I
like.
swing towards that.
Uh, I
If Jared Leto has no haters, I'm dead.
So I'm going to give love to the boss while you gave some hate, because I believe that the boss represented the perfect blending into the background corporate stooge that thinks he's a little bit bigger but ends up just being spineless.
Exactly that. Yeah, I do agree in that regard as well. But yeah, Jared Leto was pretty shit as well. I fucking hate Jared Leto.
Because the boss character was not meant to stand out. He was meant to
No.
literally be a plot device to kind of move things forward. It was meant to be the spineless guy that basically provided the opportunity for the funding that Project Mayhem got.
Absolutely, yeah, and I understand that, but I feel like we could have pulled more from the boss because it's all about these men. They want to be masculine men and really manly, and a lot of people see that as a higher up managerial position, earning money. You could have really tapped into him a little bit more, and turns out his life is actually really fucking miserable, and that's what
Right.
these men want to escape. So I feel like they could have pulled more from his character
They
in a
certainly could
way.
have.
Definitely.
Jared's character, on the other hand, was never meant to be much more than just the area where fists flew. That's about it.
You know what?
It was
Pretty good
fun
target
watching the
for it.
makeup job with him sitting in the back of the car, though. Just that makeup job making him look like the Elephant Man.
Yeah, like really making him all messed up. Like he acts in pain very well. I think that's mostly because he's a very stiff actor. He can't really act. He's one of those actors who are they are a model. They are just then put into film even though they can't act. Sort of like Sydney Sweeney, zero acting skills. She just gets her titties out, and that's the only reason why she's casting things. Sort of the same with Jared Leto. People think he's hot, and then they're like, "Yeah, give him a role."
I've
That's pretty much how it
never
works.
once watched a Jared Leto film going, he's hot. Never.
Me neither.
So
He looks like he smells really bad.
I know there was a lot of girls that had a crush on him way back in the whole My So-Called Life phase, but at past that, there's one film that I've watched him and that I was like, oh, that's not particularly bad. But it was back when he was really young. So,
Back when he was actually still a musician.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if the musician part had been as prominent back then for him.
Yeah.
Uh,
I knew him because of 30 Seconds to Mars, so.
Now I'm trying to remember the name of the film. I liked him in the film, but it was also still a Jared Leto film, so
It's a Jared Leto film. That's like saying the fart didn't smell that bad. It's like
this
being the
is
best smelling fart.
he happens to have been in some really great films that were not great because of I mean, he was in Requiem for a Dream, that was
Oh my god, I forget he was in that.
that
This
was
is the
a
thing, he's very forgettable as well, because I remember my friends I remember saying to my friends, oh yeah, the best part of Fight Club was when Jared Leto got the shit beaten out of him, and they went, wait, they were in Fight Club? And I was like, yeah. And I had to show them, they're like, holy shit, that's Jared Leto. Jared Leto was a very forgettable man. And he's only really known because he's a fucking freak. Like, he's actually burnt a lot of bridges in Hollywood, and to be fair, I could not be happier for him. Because that means we get to see him in less shit. Because he did, get this, the Neutron film, he self-financed it, starred in it, and it made zero money.
I mean,
At
I'm not
least
watching
in
it.
Fight Club,
It's
it
free to me now,
actually
and I still haven't
added
watched
something. Don't
The movie that I'm
don't
talking about,
bother.
it's him, Christina Ricci, Catherine O'Hara, and Gabriel
Christina
Bryn.
Ricci and Catherine O'Hara.
It's a movie from 1996 called Last of the High Kings.
Oh wow, okay.
It's a great film.
I mean, I've got a
I
big
would
crush on
recommend watching
Christina
it.
Ricci.
That's the thing is, like I said, he's been in a lot of great films that weren't necessarily great for him specifically. This movie was actually not bad for him. So
Sort of like Johnny Depp. He's been in some films that he just shouldn't have been in, but they were decent.
yeah, I mean, exactly. He's been a Johnny Depp's been in how many films that were supposed to have been massive films, and then you look at him and like,
Flopped.
why Johnny Depp as Tonto? Why? Why are we putting him in the Lone Ranger? Why would you do that?
Yeah, my favorite Native American man, Johnny Depp.
Right. All of
You,
the Native American actors out there. That's one of the things that they started having a little bit of trouble with, is that they were casting people in roles that they could have legitimately cast a Native American actor for that. There was that
it's
one
the
film with Emma. Oh God, what is her name?
Scarlett Johansson in
No,
Ghost in the Shell.
no. The
Oh.
redhead from Scarlet Letter. Now I can't remember her name for the life of me. She was in Zombieland.
Oh, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone. There we go. I got the first name. The last name just skipped
Yeah.
out of my head for a moment. There was that one film that she did where she was supposed to be playing like a Peloponnesian woman. And they were like, why would you cast her for that? Made no
Also
sense.
casting Scarlett Johansson in an anime adaptation of a Japanese anime from Japan. They hire a white American
Ghost in the
lady.
Shell. Yeah.
You couldn't have hired any Asian actor. Was Lucy Liu not available? It's like the opposite of
She had been in action
race.
films at that point. X versus Sever. She had been in Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's
I mean,
Angels, famously, yeah. She, Kung Fu Panda, she voices the snake.
right.
But yeah, like she could have easily played that. But no, it's like today we see the opposite of them just throwing in random people of color and bringing up social issues just cause. I mean, sometimes it is necessary to the plot, for example, Get Out. But they kind of make it too on the nose a little bit. This is why I really liked the Backrooms, because the main character was just a black guy. He's just a guy. Racism isn't a thing, like generational trauma isn't a thing. It's just a guy who's black who's just running around these the infinite liminal spaces. I like that. That was good. But then you get people who push it a little too far, like, let's make Snow White a brown girl, let's make The Little Mermaid a brown girl. And it's like, why don't we make new films with brown people? But then, when the role requires them to be of a certain race, they're just like, random white lady.
Right.
No!
And
No.
I have my own other issues with the recent Snow White adaptation. It had nothing to do with the woman that they put in the lead role. Had nothing to do with it, because I think she did a decent job. But why, in a world where we have access to so many actors, so many I don't know what the political correct term is right now, but so many actors of diminutive stature, little people. I'm going to use
People with
so many different
dwarfism,
words,
yeah.
and I'm going to get smacked around for all of them, but I don't care because I got to get it out there. But we have people like Peter Dinklage and Warwick Davis still available, and you CGI'd every fucking dwarf.
Literally. And there are so many little people gagging for work in the acting spaces as well. And then Peter Dinklage also said that it was offensive to use little people as the dwarves in Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Why? Seven dwarves. Yes, it's not the most politically correct thing to cast little people playing dwarfs and like little hobbits and stuff like that. Fair enough, I can see that. However, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Why couldn't we have casted 7 people with dwarfism to fill those roles and
Could've.
then hopefully give them a start in their acting careers, seeing as though Peter Dinklage and Warwick Davis are the only little people actors who are big A-list celebrities, when there are so many people who with dwarfism who have the acting skills and they just don't give them the work.
They could have. They chose not to.
Exactly that, yeah.
So that was a statement unto itself. So we do have to wrap things up here a little bit. So we're going to go through the last little motions of just going ahead and giving ourselves what do we feel the IMDb rating for this should be? What would you rate this on a scale from
10.
1 to 10?
10. easily 10 out of 10 film. I never get bored of this. I can quote it word for word. Characters 10, action 10, pacing 10. I absolutely love it because that film is like quite long. It's like 2.5 hours.
Right.
It doesn't feel like that.
No, not at all. No,
It's
you're right.
very good.
I'm not going to give it a 10. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
I
I mean, it is like the creme de la creme of film.
There are
for
movies
me.
that I have in my head that I would give a close to a 10. I don't think I've ever given any film mentally a 10 because, well, because my mindset has always been that there's always something. You can always find something that can be a little bit better. Like, Jared Leto in this film. There could have been somebody prettier. There could have been a legitimate, you could have had a model literally in there. And Jared Leto at the time, I guess, was the guy that they felt was the pretty thing that they needed to break. Like, that
He's
was the
not that
point.
pretty.
Right.
I'm sorry. This
Not
is the
that version of him.
90s.
There was a good looking version of him. That bleach blonde version of him was not it.
They could have cast, like, 90s Johnny Depp. He was kind of hot back then. He was also on a lot of drugs, so maybe he didn't look so great. But, there were a lot of men in the 90s who were kind of hot, and Jared Leto was the best you could do.
Right. So
He looks like he smells really bad.
that's why I'd give this like a 9.5. I'm not going to give it a 10 because, like I said, there's little things that obviously, this is a fantastic film. I've never been bored watching this film. I've probably watched it about 15 times in my lifetime so far. All these films that I got up here on my shelf, I haven't actually watched yet. I'm watching Fight Club. That tells you something.
I'm exactly the same. There's like a good 20 Blu-rays I've bought and haven't seen yet, and I'm just like, you know what would slap right now? Fight Club.
Yeah.
Or
It's a good movie to
Eraserhead.
put
I've seen
on when you're just
Eraserhead too
hanging out
many
with
times.
people, drinking, having fun, whatever. All right. So, yeah, give it about a 9.5. I'll lean on 9.5 because I don't think there's a lot that I would change about this film. I'm just leaning on, I don't want to deduct a full point just because Jared Leto's in the film for like 5 seconds,
I would say the one downside is Jared Leto. Yeah, I agree. For sure.
So that being said, go ahead and tell our listeners where they can find your socials, what you're doing.
You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at StephRed13. I also yap about film on those areas, so if you want to see more unhinged rabblings of a mad woman, go follow and find me there.
Everybody loves a mad woman.
I'm just batshit, so...
Yeah, right. Well, batshit crazy is at least not boring.
That is true. People can say a lot of things about me. Boring is not an adjective anyone would use.
And on our end, you can find our podcast on YouTube, Spotify. Pretty much wherever you find podcasts, listen to podcasts, and in this particular case, watch podcasts. We're also on the regular socials, Facebook, Blue Sky. We are on, I'm refusing to call it by its actual name, Twitter. We're going back to Twitter.
I will call Twitter X when Elon Musk stops dead naming his trans daughter. I'm going to keep dead naming Twitter until then.
Yeah.
Until he learns to respect trans people,
He's going with the flow of the crowd that he's catering to. That's the problem.
And then his own fucking crowd hates him as well. Everyone hates Elon Musk, including me.
I don't think
I'm just like a big hater of like a lot of men who are just pieces of shit, like Jared Leto and Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Basically, I'm a conservative's man's worst nightmare. Come at me.
All right. Well, on behalf of myself and Miss Stephanie here, thank you for listening to the podcast today. And I don't have a sign-off today. My brain is a complete... You want to give us a sign-off?
I'll give us a sign-off. Remember to leave out your cookies and Coke for David Lynch. And remember to be gay and do gay shit. Happy Pride Month.
Oh, there we go.
It's June, so...